My name is Matt Taylor, but you already know that. What you may not know is that it is my destiny to become the #1 vlogger on YouTube. Okay, I'm not sure if I talked about this yet, but a while ago, a couple days ago, I told you I was restarting the Fable series, which I did. I didn't start it on that day, but then I did start it the day after. And right now, if anybody has played the Lost Chapters, they know when you go to Bargate Prison and all that to save Scarlet Robe, and then you get stuck there for an extra year, and then when you're leaving and all that. Well, after that, as soon as I can, I go and I visit my wife, or wives in this case. I have one in Oakvale, one in Bowerstone South. I'm married to Lady Grey, and that's it. So 3 wives. And then, well, I went to go see the Bowerstone ones first, so yeah, I went to go see the Bowerstone ones first. Went, saw them, blah blah blah. Then I went to Oakvale to visit my wife in Oakvale. Go into my house, she's not there. I go into the bar, she's not there. And I'm like, where the fuck is she? So I go back, walking back to the house, and she comes walking out of the neighbor's house, followed by the neighbor with a guy. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? So I told her follow, and she followed me, and I brought her into the house, and I shot her head off. With a decapitation too, which is shocking, because normally the game never lets me decapitate civilians. So, yeah, that's what happened there. And then I went walking around, because pretty much the whole time, the guards didn't even find me and all that for killing my wife. I walked out, there was a guard standing there, and he's like, hero, and I didn't pay him off for anything. So anyway, then I went walking around to go find a new wife, because all of Albion's pretty much in love with me, the guys, the women, everybody. And I found one, and I was talking to her, and after one little flirt of, hey, the big heart came up, and she turned green, and I proposed, went back to the house, and then the marriage cutscene started, and then the game froze. And I'm like, fuck. But whatever. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, not really today anymore, but yesterday, whatever you want to call it. I went to the hospital with my stepmother and talked to the people in HR, and they told me, oh, we don't accept hard copies of resumes anymore. You have to go to this site and send it to us. And I'm like, fine. So I did that, got home, and I sent off my email for the 4 different jobs. And then my dad texts me, and he's like, hey. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, you're still looking for a job, right? I'm like, well, obviously, or else I wouldn't have gone to the hospital with Linda today to get, to apply for hospital jobs. He's like, oh, well, remember when you were asking me about, what's it called? How to apply at SR Steel? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, go here, they're hiring 30 people. And I'm like, oh, score. So that, I sent off my email for that as well. So now I'm waiting to hear back from those. I'm still waiting to hear back from TSC. So, yeah. Other than that, I think that's about it. One more thing. And I was just laying here right after the game froze, and a friend of mine texted me, who I used to be like this with. Like, we were so close and everything. And then I was dating this dumb bitch, and and then that kind of drove us apart a bit because the dumb bitch that I was dating was, like, no offense to women, but she was so dumb and so stupid. It's like, I have more female friends than I have male friends, and she was jealous of every female friend I had. And that, like, pretty much cut the friends that I have down to, like, nothing. So that drove us apart, and then we were still, like, a little bit close, but not really at all. And she started dating this egotistical moron who I just want to punch in the face every time I see him. And then we didn't talk for a while, and then another friend of mine was talking to me, and she knows this egotistical moron, because she was friends with him even before he was dating my other friend. And he was telling me about, or she was telling me about how he kept coming on to her and all this, and that. So I texted my friend that was dating him, and I'm like, you do realize that he's still carrying a torch for so-and-so, right? And then they were kind of talking, and they were already having problems, and then they finally broke up, and I'm like, okay, good, good. And then we kind of talked a bit more, and we're kind of getting back to that closeness, but we're nowhere near it anymore. But she texted me after she got off work at midnight, and she's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, nothing, laying here watching TV because my game froze. She's like, oh, I just got off work. I'm like, oh, cool. She's like, I'm bored, don't know what to do. I'm like, well, your work isn't that far from here. If you want, we can go and wander around. And she's like, oh, no, I'm probably going to go hang out with the people that I work with. And I'm like, so why even text me then? But then it's just like, so she's off hanging out with them, and then right before I started this vlog, she texted me, she's like, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? I'm like, I don't know, I don't normally find out what I'm doing until I'm actually doing something. So I'll probably hang out with her Thursday. I think that's about it. So my question to you is, um, have you ever had a friend that you were, like, really close with, like this close with, and then something happened that drove you apart? If so, what was that thing that drove you apart? Like, you heard mine, stupid people dating and whatnot. But I think that's the end of this. So, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Until next time, peace out.